Welcome to lesson 4.11, write equations of a line given the slope and a point. So our objective for today is that I can write an equation of a line given its slope and coordinates of a point on the line, which is pretty cool. So for instance, if we look back at our bell ringer, if we're looking at this line right here, if we're only given the point 0, and if we're only given the slope that we got here, which was -3/4, then we could calculate and discover the equation of every point on this entire line. That's pretty cool, right? Just given one point in the slope, figure out all the points possible on the line. So let's take a look at it. Go ahead and flip the page. So here we have the linear equation y equals mx plus b is written in slope-intercept form. So remember, m is always the slope, right? Another name for the slope is the, I'm putting in parentheses, rate of change. And then we have the b is the y-intercept. So remember, the y-intercept is our initial value, right? It's where we start off when we're graphing it. It's where x equals 0. So that's just a reminder that m is our slope, b is our y-intercept, okay? So the first one says, what is the equation of the line that passes through the point for -6 and has a slope of -3? All right, so the first thing is, because it says equation of a line, I know I need to have something in the form y equals mx plus b. All right, so to write the equation of a line, I need two things. I need the slope and I need the y-intercept, right? Well, they already gave me the slope. They said that the slope was -3. So I know right away that m is -3. But my b, my initial value, do I know what that is? Not really. It only gives me a point. It doesn't give me the initial value. Well, how could I figure out what b is given that point? Take a look, right? This point really tells me that an x value that satisfies the equation is 4, and a y value that satisfies the equation is -6. So I'm going to write this over to the side. I'm going to write x equals 4, y equals -6. Right? That's a point where the x value is 4, the y value is -6, and it satisfies this equation. So what's super cool is I'm given my slope. We have an x value and we have a y value. All that we're missing is our b. If we look at the slope-intercept form, we have a y, we have an m, we have an x. We just need to find the b. So what we're going to do now is take all of these three values and plug them into their parts to figure out what b is. Once we know what b is, we can create the equation of the line. So let's replace. So y equals -6. So that means that when we're going to replace y with -6, m was -3, so we're going to replace our m with -3 times our x value. Our x value is 4 plus b. Now, if I simplify this, I have -6 equals -3 times 4 is -12 plus my b. Well, how do I get b all by itself when it's being added to a -12? We have to add 12 to both sides, silly. So when we do that, we get b equals -6 plus 12, which is 6. So now I know that my mystery b, my b equals 6. So with that, I have my two things that I need. I have my slope and I have my y-intercept. So when I write the equation y equals mx plus b, I have y equals, my slope is -3x plus my b, which is 6. So the equation of my line is y equals -3x plus 6. Okay, so the reason why we plugged in our values for x, y, and m into this equation is so that we could find b. Once we have b and we have our slope, we can easily write the equation of the line, right? All right, so that was our first one. Let's take a look at number 2. It says, what is the equation of the line that passes through the point 3, -1 and has a slope of 2? So equation of a line, I know has to be y equals mx plus b. Right away, looking at this point, I know that this is an ordered pair x, y. So I know that x is 3 and y is -1. and it has a slope of 2. Well, remember, slope is your m value, so it has an m value of 2. Okay, so given these three things, I don't know what b is. I'm trying to figure that out because I need m and I need b to write my equation. So I'm going to plug in all these values to isolate b. So y is -1, so I'm going to replace y with -1 equals m, I'm going to replace with my 2, because m equals 2. X, I'm going to replace with a 3, because x is 3, plus my b, which I don't know what it is yet. I got to figure that out. So now I have -1 equals 2 times 3, which is 6, plus b. So I'm adding 6 to b. The opposite would be to subtract 6 from both sides. When I do this, -1 minus 6 is -7 equals b. So now I know that b is -7. That means that my y-intercept, where it crosses the y-axis, is at where it crosses, yeah, I said y, didn't I? I think so. Where it crosses the y-axis is when y is 7. So, Miss Well, why did you circle x? I don't know. I think you got too excited. So we have our b, we have our m. So our equation is y equals 2x minus 7, right? Y equals mx plus b. So that's the equation of my line. Okay, flip the page for me. Let's take a look at 3. 3 says find an equation of a line passing through the point -5, 3 with a slope of m equals 2. So this one I'm going to have you try on your own. I want you to go ahead and pause the video and sort through it. When you're done, Edpuzzle is going to ask you to write your equation of your line that you found. Make sure to still get it checked, because if it's not correct, you're going to have to watch the video after, okay? All right, welcome back. So here, the equation of our line, we need to know that's y equals mx plus b, right? We have the point -5, 3. So that means our xy is -5, 3. So that means x is -5, y is 3. Our slope m is 2. So given these three things, I'm going to plug them in to solve for b, because I need b in order to write my equation of my line. So y was 3, so I'm replacing y with 3. M is 2. X is -5 plus b. I have 3 equals 2 times -5 is -10 plus b. Now to isolate b, I have to add 10 to both sides. So when I do that, I get 13 equals b. So now that b is 13, I have my slope, I have my y-intercept. So the equation that you should have wrote is y equals 2x plus 13. Okay? All right, taking a look at 4, we need to find an equation of a line passing through the point 3, 2 with a slope m equals 0. I want you to give this one a try as well. Go ahead and pause the video. Make sure to enter your answer when you're done. All right, welcome back. As you can see, we have our xy. X is 3, y is 2, m is 0, right? We also need our b, and that's what we're trying to figure out. So we have y equals mx plus b. Now y is being replaced with 2 equals m is being replaced with 0, x of 3 plus b. Well, 0 times 3 is 0 plus b. So this just becomes 2 equals b. Well, that was pretty easy. So now that I have that, I can write my equation y equals 0x plus 2. But is there an easier way to write that? Absolutely, right? 0 times x is just 0, so y equals 2 should have been the equation of your line. Okay. Taking a look at 5, I also want you to try 5 on your own. Go ahead and find the equation of the line that has a slope of 1 that passes through the point -6, 6. All right, so with an equation of a line, we have y equals mx plus b. We have that x is -6 because that's the x value in our ordered pair, and y is 6 for the same reason, only it's y. And our slope, which is m, is 1. So when I plug all these values in, I get 6 equals 1 times my x value of -6 plus b. So 6 equals -6 plus b. To wrap my line, I have to add 6 to both sides. I get that b equals 12. So with b equaling 12 and m equaling 1, my equation is y equals 1x plus 12. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.